Okay, so this is Vision 3. We've talked a lot about. It's the latest film product from Kodak. It has 13 stops of exposure latitude, which gives it tremendous flexibility in almost any filming situation. You can get it in Pro 813, which is a 200 tungsten, Pro 807, which is a 250 daylight, or Pro 819, which is a 500 tungsten. And you won't see that big of a differential between the different stocks in terms of grain structure. This film allows colorists, which is why I love this film, to correct just about any minor mistakes in filmmaking, from not using the correct filtration or not getting the exact exposure. This film gives the person transferring to digital with a good system amazing control over the end resulting picture, regardless of how it was originally exposed. This is the Fuji's latest stock they call vivid film because it has a bit more color saturation than traditional color negatives. It has a little less latitude than the Kodak stock, but the um, they've created a beautiful contrast in the film. So you get a wonderfully rich black from this film stock. It has a very pleasant aesthetic naturally from the film itself without doing extensive color correction. It's amazingly flexible in terms of filming in various situations. You can get vivid in um, a 160 ASA tungsten, a 250 ASA daylight, and a 500 ASA tungsten. This, for example, these shots were done with 500 tungsten, shot outside with full California sun daylight. And you could work with a 500 speed film under those conditions with the flexibility of these film stocks. So this is Tri-X, and Tri-X, as we've talked about, is a reversal film. And part of what that means is that it's a positive, so that you could project it, but it also has a very limited amount of exposure latitude. So you've got to really know you're exposing and how to expose film properly and understand the contrast of the pictures that you're taking in order to get great pictures with this film. Of course, when you do learn those things, it's very rewarding because it's got a very nice natural aesthetic to the film. I mean, it is a quite old technology, so it has some shortcomings. It's very easy to scratch, a little bit complicated in the developing, but it's worth it to get these great looks. This is the Ektachrome 100 daylight reversal film. Of course, it's a color stock. It's probably the closest to the traditional Super 8 film material, the Kodachrome film that was used for so many years. And again, it's got a very limited exposure latitude range, so you've got to be good at exposing and know how to expose film properly in order to get this look. But it's worth it in the sense that it creates a very unique, um, very classic sort of look of Super 8 film because it's a reversal material. This is the Pro 801. It's the Vision 2 film stock. It's the last of Vision 2. All the other stocks have been discontinued by Kodak for Vision 3. Um, Hopefully someday soon they'll be bringing us a 500 daylight in Vision 3. It has a great grain structure because it's a 50 ASA film stock. It's a bit more of a classic look to its negative. This is the Eterna line, which is Fuji's last generation color negative film stock. Very similar to the Vision 2 line, about the same latitude, about the same chrominance, a little bit different look because of Kodak, who uses what they call T grain, and Fuji, which uses nano grain technology. So the granules that make up the film are slightly different between the two companies. So it's difficult to cut the two together, but operationally they're very similar in terms of film material and the closest they've ever been. This is Fuji's SuperF series, which at this point now is probably 15 years in the market. It has fairly good grain structure, even though it's that old, because it was a 64 daylight film material. Like we discussed, Fuji hasn't discontinued a lot of its older color negative films, and so you can still get this material today in the marketplace. I think you would use it to get more of an older negative kind of look. Still a beautiful film, but as you can see, the structure of the grain pretty much is in all areas, from the highlights to the shadows, unlike modern film stocks, which has very little grain structure throughout the film. Just a very pleasant looking, beautiful, classic, color negative film material. And the last stock that's available in Super 8 today is the Reala. Reala is a 500 daylight stock from Fuji. It's been around for quite a while. It came out when the 22 stock, around then. It was the first of its kind to have an additional capacity so that you could color time back the film when it was exposed with the wrong color light. So I shot this in mixed light. I think there's actually an 85 filter, which shouldn't be there on this last shot, which I was able to time back to perfect color.